What's going on, everybody? It's Great Scots. This is Grand Tacticians of the Civil War Early Access build. If you can't figure out where I'm going with this, go ahead and raise your hand. But otherwise, I'll assume you kind of figure out what I'm doing here, which is playing this game. And I think for this one, you'll be watching. Last video ended great. I mean, as well as any of these videos have ended. We need to turn our scroll speed up here a bit. But the I think it's still called the Army of the West in 1862. It is. Had pretty handily defeated General Curtis's forces and sent them packing. What I've done between now and then, after I loaded back in and started this thing up, was I raised some more forces for Van Dorn. I also raised some forces, this is it, for Army of the Mississippi. And I kind of spread them out over the various corps. If you're not familiar with what the Army of the Mississippi's order of battle looks like in 1862, that's it. And I tried to draw pretty evenly from states that are close by. You can see that there's some variation, right? We have as little as 2 days, and I think as many as, what was the largest one? 12, 9, 17 days. Okay. So they'll be gradually building their strength, but the idea, why build up Van Dorn's force if he won? Well, because the idea now is to push along this line from Springfield, Lebanon, roll in all the way to St. Louis, in the hopes of maybe getting to Missouri to secede. I don't know. I don't know if that's possible. And my hope is that I can distract the Army of the Mississippi and they'll chase me, so they will not be around to reinforce the Army of the Tennessee as I move my forces to attack the Army of Ohio stationed here at Nashville. Over here, I guess I didn't get any reinforcements for Smith. Maybe I should have, but we're just gonna, well, we should actually play so that we're moving some time forward here. He seems to have a pretty good advantage, and there's not too much in the area I need to worry about. I think there's the mountain department. I thought they were up here, up and around Wheeling. Maybe they're not. Maybe I'm getting my campaigns mixed up. Anyways, that's where things stand out here in the kind of the West. And I told you last time that I was already recruiting units for Johnston. I told you at the, I think it was the end of the last video, that I just got Johnston's count wrong. He had a lot more troops than I thought. And I added several more to Jackson's to try to get their strength up here. D.H. Hill is going to swing around just north of Newmarket. I think I told you that I reversed myself here. Ooh, Magruder is earned a perk. I don't really care about your fame. I'm not sure what fame is, how it's going to help me on the battlefield. River Expedition might be important. I have not had much success with engineers and mechanics yet. I've chosen them for various armies. I did it with the old 61 Union campaign and just didn't seem to get much out of it. So we'll see this time if it matters. It looks like, particularly over there in the east, I'm going to be on the defensive a lot. Out west, it's more spread out. And so I think there are opportunities where we could swarm armies that get cut off and maybe be on the attack more frequently. But it looks like over here we are just straight outnumbered. It's hard to see everything that's in there. First Corps, you see 22,000. Third Corps, almost 25,000. Fifth Corps, about 18,000. So Army of Virginia is significantly outnumbered. Probably the smartest thing to do for press is to just withdraw and look for time. But I don't think that time is on the side of the CSA. So we're not going to depend too much on it because there is a blockade going. I'm not really going to try to stop it. You can see it's already kind of in place throughout the Gulf of Mexico. I am going to try to prevent the Mississippi from being cut and the Confederacy, so-called cut in two. We'll see. We'll see if it's possible. But that's the general idea, is to, again, win out west, hold in the east, and maybe get some secession. see, our chances of British intervention are just low, and I don't know that's going to be significant even if they ever do come around to joining. So that's where I don't see these armies actually moving yet. They definitely have their directions, you can see that. It may just be the order delays, and maybe 10 times speed is just the way we need to go. What? Oh, this is of Mexico. Okay. That was not expected. And I'm just going to send Van Dorn on that line right to St. Louis to see if we can draw anybody else. So yeah, this looks like another one where we had a sizable numerical advantage. Don't know if that's going to hold up when we actually get a little closer. But assuming that our intelligence was reasonable, we should have the advantage here. And again, it looks like we do. It's still close enough that if we screw up, it could be a disaster. I don't know what the quality of the troops and the weapons are. Yeah, 7,000 men and 15 guns. And how does that stack up with us? So there really is no artillery advantage for us. Our advantage, if we have any, it's definitely in men and in cavalry. That's pretty much the only advantage, is the advantage in cavalry. So we're on, well, you can see we're on the Perryville map. We're going to enter down here in this big salient, and they're going to enter up in the northwest. And this is another one where most of the victory points are scattered in the center. I'm going to deploy off video, and my guess is we're going to push to deploy probably behind Doctors Creek. I'll have the skirmishers out front. I'll have the cavalry out front as well, so we can figure out if it makes any sense. I'm trying to think right now if it makes any sense to deploy in front of that. Well, you know, well, the problem is that this ridge kind of runs north-south rather than east-west, and it's already closer to them. And they have, let's see, so they're already probably this far forward, so they're probably going to beat us there. So I think my plan is going to be to deploy around Peters Hill, the Springfield Pike, Doctors Creek on this side. We have good cover, they don't, and it's just my best guess as to where they'll be. So I'll bring you back in when we're set up and ready to go. Alright, so we are loaded in here. And yeah, I've sent the skirmishers off to the right and to the left. You can see that the main force is supposed to park itself up on Peters Hill. I've detached Boyle's cavalry and it looks like Kemper's cavalry, and they're going to go up ahead of the force. I decided to try to keep cavalry a bit closer than I have in the past, and here we can speed this up. Because it feels like too frequently the cavalry get too far away, and there's too much in the way of order delays. And so I'm trying to basically send them to where I'm sending the infantry, but I want them to get there before the infantry. And I think by sending them up to hold these two spots, if the Union tries to cross here, they'll be able to contest it, slow it down, and maybe allow our forces to get into place. I have no idea where they're going to go. I mean, all these waterways, these fords, this is probably, I don't want to contradict myself later, but this is probably my favorite map out of all of them because of the variation of terrain. It has open ground, it has pretty heavily forested stuff, it has a lot of roads, has a lot of waterways. It's a lot of stuff to think about. And so I like that. It's not like, you know, those wilderness maps where, you know, almost everything is forested, and it's like, well, it doesn't really matter how I fight or what tactics I use. But I mean, knowing that you could hold this hill overlooking a pretty open plain, and they'd have to cross water to get to you, that's a very good artillery position if you're in a position of ranged attack. Now I know that I'm on the attack here. Okay, so we found them right now because they tend to move together. And so, yeah, you can come around that way. We're all all open here, though. And what I want to do is get these guys in place and see what I can do about holding them up at the Dixville crossroads. No guarantees ever, but we do have quite a few skirmishers. I think we have 4 skirmisher groups this time, which is better than the 2 we had last time. Kemper is already here on this side of the ford. What I want to do is order him up, not seriously to hold this position, but just to delay if pressed. I am going to send Boyle over here to take Doctors Creek, and also to try to hold them on this side of Doctors Creek, on the, I guess it's the northwest side of the creek, while my forces deploy opposite that. I don't really want to engage with skirmishers, or I shouldn't want to engage with skirmishers. It looks like I might, but I kind of want to maybe hold back until I have both forces together. Actually, that's just foolish. Just shoot them. I mean, if they beat me, they beat me, but we're going to have a second skirmisher group in there momentarily. It's going to be a while before a third or fourth do, but that's the kind of nature of things. The army seems to be moving pretty quickly. You know, I know that's relative, but pretty quickly is still good. We do have the high ground in this engagement, but I was going to say, I think we probably have inferior weaponry. And intelligently, they're going to press, which I think they should. Yeah, they're larger, and they're dealing us some casualties. I don't think we're going to be able to hold very long at all, if that's the kind of fire we're getting. And so I'm going to draw these guys off. We'll try to find some more favorable ground for this. If I get them in... Yeah, they're nervous. I'm not surprised. If I get them in the woods and lay down, they might have a chance to recuperate a bit. I guess if they're just going to chase with that one skirmisher unit, I'll... Uh-oh. Now Barton's unstable. Yeah, I don't want to do too much with him if that's the case. And now they have 2 detachments against my 1. That's going to be rough for Rains' detachment. It's not really where I want to be. But they are 2v1ing me, and so maybe if I lay down, I don't need to worry about the range because they're within my range. But again, this kind of slows them down. These guys have shotguns, so they're pretty useless, I think, in this fight. But I still want to hold them where they are. Boyle is in position. Alright, we're getting other skirmishers up now. That's good. We're going to move Boyle's cavalry up here. Alright, these guys are nervous. I'll just have them lay down, see if that calms them. There's no guarantee it will, but there it is. Yeah, those guys so far have been able to avoid huge casualties. Ledbetter's coming. You know what? I never did move Stevenson. That's another one of those that's clearly on me. All right, but we're poking along here. So that's where I was going to deploy Smith. It doesn't look like it's the... It's hard to know if that's the right place. I would suspect it is not. What are these guys doing? They're alright. These guys have terrible weapons, though. I mean, mixed muskets for a group of skirmishers is not what we want. I can't tell if I'm drawing them down or if they're just going to revert back up here to this road. I don't know. I don't really want to overcommit in any direction. So if they don't have an angle there, we'll take an angle there. Alright, these guys I think just need to fall back at this point. And these guys are probably going to be useless in a defense. So I'm gonna order them. Actually, I think I'm just gonna continue because I don't know what's gonna happen. How are these guys? Pretty much unscathed. Barton's guys are still nervous. That's not good. And I think I need to start thinking about how to switch this to the attack. It's great to draw them up into prepared defenses and all that. Okay, you need to get back. Get back into these woods. And these guys are alright for now. Stable. Okay, so Barton's attachment has gone to stable now. That's an improvement. Again, having shotguns though with your cav kind of means they're going to be at a disadvantage. These guys have fallen back to stable. I think I'm just going to bring them back here. See if I can bring them down or get the Union to chase. I don't know that I can, but we'll certainly try. Stevenson is poking along. He's coming in here. Yeah, having skirmishers with mixed muskets is probably definitely not the way you want to go. It's not the way I want to go. I think these guys would be better used harassing the advance of infantry. Right. Move these guys back. They claim they're stable. I guess we'll find out. It's not that late in the day. It's only 2:30 in the afternoon. I'm thinking now of seeing where I can get my forces across. I don't want you guys still running. There is an opportunity here to get these groups that are leading. I'm wondering what I can do with these cavalry that have shotguns. They're definitely outranged in most of these contests, but if they can move up quickly, they can probably have quite an effect. Or if it makes more sense to just wait and bring up my main force, which is kind of where I'm leaning. I'm kind of interested to see what happens if I just pull back, whether they will chase. Pull these guys back into the woods. I don't want to lose my cavalry. There's always the opportunity to upgrade their weapons later. But I think having them out here makes them a target for artillery. We don't want to give their artillery any easy shots. Oh, these guys just broke. Who's that? Ledbetter. Alright, Ledbetter. You need to unskirmish. Recall your skirmishers. And I think, because I want to see what they're going to do, we'll withdraw those skirmishers as well. And just see what direction. I'll leave these guys firing because they have okay range. But we have the rest of our infantry drawing up here. Move Stevenson's main force up. Ledbetter's main force will go up. I don't actually know what things look like. 106 on my side and 75 on their side, so 1% across the board. Yeah, not our best engagement by any means. Well, this is a detachment. Are they giving me any... Okay, so they're moving north. So that does help. It helps me make a decision. Even if this ends up being somewhat lower ground, I guess they're moving over here to the fences and so forth. Not sure why Smith's forces look like that when I try to move them. It's not really where I want them. That's more of where I want them. Guess they're gonna go over there. I'm not sure why. I'm not too sure why they're going that way. But there they are. I guess the detachments are kind of moving with the main force. I haven't experienced that in the past. Usually the detachments kind of just ignored the orders of the main force. I guess that's no longer the case. Okay, that's a very rough hit right there. I guess it's a big time order delay for Kemper. Maybe to simplify things, I'm just telling you to attack them, that's all. That's all I'm doing. And it's one of the problems with cavalry in general. It's just that when they get those long order delays, even though it's a small move they need to make, it takes forever. And so it's poor planning on my part. Yeah, it's not really getting better for us. Our forces are on the move. Maybe this is where they're going to make their stand at the top of the open knob. It's a decent position. Uh-oh, they're nervous. So now they've been shot apart by De Courcy's detachment, which has done very little. Goodness, look at this order delay. This thing is massive. And again, it's because the general's about as far back as he can be with that commanding officer. And I believe that other skirmisher unit probably was just shot apart, but again, massive order delay over here. Not sure. Yeah, my eyes aren't fooling me. They're coming back. We'll see how this goes. I don't know. Oh my goodness, boys. My God, do something. The whole force is about to be here. They'll give you the order. Never mind the courier. Alright, so we knocked out one of the detachments. We now gotta try to knock out the other, who it looks like has now knocked out the second detachment. They're getting 2v1'd, and I think they knocked out both of them, or one of them. Yep, they knocked out both of them. So those are some super Union skirmishers you see right there. De Courcy's detachment. And they've taken very few casualties, so these guys still have not moved. Oh my goodness. They've been getting these orders forever now. These guys still have not moved. Holy moly. I have no idea. Well, I do have an idea. I know why Smith's doing what he's doing, but it's not great. Alright, so these guys need to just hang up. Okay, they're there. Wow, they can hit them from there. That's great. What do you want? We'll give you a deadly volley. Okay, you're already on long range. That's great. Maybe not on long enough range, but this is another detachment. Good, good. They're using detachments correctly. Oh my goodness, Boyle. Move! Here, I'm going to put this cavalry right in their flank. Seems like a decent use of them. I don't know if this is the right play. I'm going to march that cavalry right up to them. See if they'll shoot at them. Shooting through their own troops. It's not a great idea. It seems like things are kind of turning in my favor. You can see that while total casualties are still high on my side, the relative difference between them has now decreased significantly. And so we're probably going to try to knock out this force here. And it still looks like they've now, you know, kind of rechanged their minds that they definitely are going to go up to the open knob up there. We got to get this battery in the right direction. Ooh, that detachment's within canister range. So good for us, bad for them. Stevenson's brigade. But now it looks like the Union is going to make a beat for the Squire Bridge. Now, this is where Cav can do something. Will they? Probably not. But they could. They move over here and get in the way. I don't know why they have them making that crazy S-turn. Style points, perhaps. I really don't know. But I want to get this artillery over here. We don't need to pile on to this Carter's detachment, which is amazingly resilient. I mean, I don't know what to say. They've only taken 58 casualties with all of these groups firing at them. I mean, that's unreal. Alright, so they were finally broken. That should not be interpreted as a win for us. That was quite costly. It looks like maybe now they'll cross north of us. I really don't know. It's really hard to say at this point who's going to do what. I am going to try to keep my forces somewhat together, because I think I was ordering them in all different directions. I have ordered them in all different directions. So move them up. Move them up. Alright, these guys gotta go up. Okay, they're moving up already. They're not. That is just, it's a little annoying. Is this horse artillery? It looks like it is, so it should be fairly mobile. In that case, yeah, they're gonna move up there. Move them up to there, up to there, up to there. Up. I don't know why you would move like that, but sure. Man, Kemper is lacking in initiative. I mean, he is just slow. These guys are not firing at will? They are? Oh, they are. Okay. And it looks like they're moving for Walker's Bend, perhaps. I kind of want these guys to be on counter battery. I bet that this is probably going to go to a second day. I don't see how it doesn't. They're trying to get away. Alright, so it looks like now they've actually set up. They've limbered their artillery, so they're not moving, or they unlimbered their artillery, I guess. So they're not moving. So if that's the case, I've already been firing at them. I don't know if I've had any success. I really haven't had any success. I'm wondering if I just move my infantry this way. We can get a... Okay, so now they've relimbered their artillery. I'm thinking of just racing this artillery up as fast as I can and just putting it right behind them. Okay, they're moving up. That's actually pretty good. Oh my god! You're still here? I mean, there's low initiative, and then there's whatever this is. I don't know what to say. Would it help if you were mounted? Maybe? Alright, so now they look like they're coming back. They being the Union. I guess I'd like to get up on these fences. No, I'd really like you on that fence. With some cover, at least. I know that they're going to have the woods, but that is what it is. It looks like the only thing they might be doing wrong is attacking in kind of waves, which I always think is a bad idea. And it opens up an opportunity for cavalry with shotguns, who are generally going to be terrible in these kind of fights, to actually serve a purpose. Unlike Kemper's cavalry, those 2,000 guys I guess I'm just going to fight without, because I don't know what else to say. Right, you're on counter battery, so go ahead and counter battery. That's Barton's detachment. Let's see if they can lay down. They can, and they still have folks in range, so that's good. Okay, Barton has his order to move. Ledbetter has his order to move. They're going to be up on the fence. Oh my God, guys, what are you doing, man? You guys have been there for forever. I'm not sure why they're shooting at the infantry when they have counter battery fire clicked. I mean, it was chosen. Now it's more chosen, I guess. Alright, so we're gonna send them over there. I think this is just another detachment, so it's certainly not the best fight for us. But it's not great for them either. Alright. They apparently can't see. I'm guessing that they can't see around this hill and shoot them for whatever reason. So we'll just let them be like that. Pull these cavalry back. I don't know, maybe the artillery just needs to be up on the hill. Hard to tell. Yeah, we don't want the cavalry there too long because they're going to get blasted. But go ahead, guys. Feel free to fire. It's only 5:30. Looks like this artillery is now repositioning. I don't think it's withdrawing. I think it's just repositioning. They seem to generally be moving to my north. There are no words for Kemper's cavalry. There are no words. I have not made it a point to capture victory points, but they don't seem terribly interested in giving a fight, and yeah, they're ahead on casualties. Though not in relative terms. It kind of seems like my infantry is just given up on following orders. They've been ordered to move left multiple times. They're just like, nope. Nice try. So I don't know what to say. Move these guys up. Try to get some. Try to get a rout on this skirmishing unit. It'll be something. And I think I'm going to move the artillery up. Because it does move pretty quickly. I think that might be way too close. But that's what I'm doing. I am trying to get them to engage. I don't know that I should, except that their infantry is so far back. That's the only thing that kind of gives me some hope. I don't know, maybe these guys just don't like fences. I'm not sure their hesitation to follow any order at all. And my God, what is wrong with Kemper? He is just stuck. Again, gentlemen, move up so you can fire. Don't worry about them. You got numbers. Holy mo... I know what it is. It's that they're in sight, and so Ledbetter's group, it's this thing the computer does where if they're within range, they will not stop firing at them. And maybe because it's fire at will is on? I don't know that that's the reason. Okay. So, I'm going to direct my artillery to shoot at theirs. I'm also going to rush my infantry up to try to shoot at their artillery. Maybe that will give their infantry the impetus to come back. I doubt it, given what they've done so far, but yeah, we're going to get blasted at close range. I know that. Ugh. So close. I know what I'm going to try to do. Now we'll see if this crashes and I lose it. It would be unfortunate, but not unheard of because of the kind of glitch going into the second day. But my goodness, to get Kemper's guys up somewhere. Just, I'd say anywhere, but knowing them, they would find a way to screw that up. So, yeah, face that way. Get off the horses. Sorry, maybe... What? I can't tell which one of them is them off their horses. They look mounted there. I don't know. Okay, these guys... I would like to move here. But they seem to just rotate, so I don't know what that's about. They have their marching orders. I'm not sure if they'll reposition. I guess they will reposition. I'm not going to spend too much time on this because I don't even know if it's going to work. Alright, so we did get the option to play. That's good. They're still going to move up. They're still going to... Gentlemen, you need to move up. As painful as this is going to be, you need to move up much closer. We need to try to wipe that artillery. No idea what their infantry is doing, abandoning their artillery like that. Go ahead and get all the way up. Gentlemen, don't be shy. Let's see. Is everybody together? It looks like everybody's together. And now they're kind of just pooling down here at the bottom. Wow, Boyle's cavalry just took 60 casualties from that volley. Well, I don't know why the infantry's firing so slow. I mean, we have them at just about point blank range. I mean, they kind of need the rest of the group to also shoot. Goodness, they're gonna get wrecked because it seems like nobody else is firing. You know what? At this point, they kind of deserve it. I mean, if you can't shoot through that, yeah, you're just gonna break en route. So I guess our casualty numbers have to be pretty terrible. They are. I mean, we're down 200 casualties. I don't know how this is possible. With all my infantry shooting at them, and my artillery, which has been shooting at them for a while, They have fewer casualties. Their 7th Division has fewer casualties. Oh wait, I guess they have more now. But up until recently they had fewer casualties. And my infantry is just like... Well, they say they're firing. And maybe they mean it. But I'm not seeing it. Gentlemen, it says they're engaged, but they're not firing. You know, it's typical Kemper, so... Who knows? Who knows what the story is? So, I'm not going to make anybody sit here and watch this. I'm going to go ahead and try to finish this up and wait for it to get to an interesting point, and we'll go from there. So, yeah, this is not good news. It was a version of the second day glitch, which is just... If you want to play this and wants to look good, it's just maddening. What happened is that eventually all my units stopped identifying that artillery unit as something to fire at. And so pretty soon, their artillery had no problem continuing to shoot me, but all my units would just stand around it. They would say they were engaged, but they would not shoot it. And so it made it unplayable. I mean, at that point, I would have just sat there and I would have got shot. So that's an entire throwaway, that battle. But I'm going to still post the video anyways, because I think the battle up to that point was maybe worth watching. But yeah, that is just it's a bit unsatisfying when you go through all of that and that's the kind of result at the end. I'm a little... Okay, I'm wondering where the heck the Army of the West is. Oh, I know what. We didn't end up in July 1861 for no reason. This is the previous campaign. This just loaded me back into the Union campaign. When I exited, and I had previously exited the other video, and I loaded back in, and I loaded back in the 1862 CSA campaign. So unfortunately, what I think this means is that I have to start this over yet again. I'll see what this option gives me. Nope, that's not going to take me to where I want to go. And that's not going to take me where I want to go. So, this campaign is complete bust. Yeah. So we're going to have to redo the Spring 62 campaign. I was having a lot of fun, and I think I will again. I guess I really hate those 2-day battles because I seem to always get the second day bug, which is your units just stop identifying the other side as enemy. So that's too bad, but I do look forward to picking this back up. So I hope to have you back here for the next one.